Hey everyone, it is June the 18th on Read Through the Word. Welcome. Welcome today. Hope that your day is going wonderful or has been wonderful and you're winding down, maybe snuggling under your favorite blanket and having some quiet time with the Lord. Maybe you've got the kids in bed or your husband's got them outside catching fireflies or whatever. We are so glad that you are with us on Read Through the Word. Just extremely blessed and honored. Today, oh my goodness, we have a new king in Judah. Yeah, imagine, right? Revolving kings in both Judah and Israel. This king is 8 years old. Now, they must have produced a different kind of 8-year-old back in that day than what I remember my 8-year-old being, which is he's now 20. But, you know, my 8-year-old at the time could hardly lace his shoes up. I had problems brushing his teeth. You know, just that kind of thing. So this is a different day, and it shocks us all that there would be an 8-year-old to be king for sure. But he had a great mentor and this is Joash that we are speaking of, and his mentor or his teacher is Jehoiada, and I'm probably butchering that, but that's how you say it, Jehoiada, and it's supposed to be down here in your throat. But how wonderful to be under the instruction of a man of God. I know that I love and value the people that have spoken into my life when it comes to my relationship with the Lord. Those people that I go to and can hash out places in the Bible and Scripture that kind of are rubbing my spirit in a way that I don't understand. Somebody that can help me process the world in a biblical way. What's happening in this day and how am I supposed to respond to this, and having a great mentor or teacher to point me in the right direction of Scripture, and this is what God would do, and this would be our correct response, and dig deeply into Scripture and discuss the manner of the context, and you know, I call them just people that I can just talk Jesus with. And there's a few in my life that there's a lot of people that I know that I talk Jesus with, but there are a few that I speak to on a level that I can go, look, this is how I'm feeling, and I know it's not right, but this is how I'm feeling. Set me straight. Help me understand this. So I'm thankful for those people. I'm thankful for those who have maybe not spoken into my life, but have lived a life of faith in front of me. Maybe they're not one of my mentors or teachers, but I've watched them live a life of faith in troubled times and in times of struggle, right? So for sure, we appreciate and love those people. But our faith cannot begin and end with those people. That teacher, that mentor, that go-to person that has helped strengthen you and gird you up in your faith. Because a borrowed faith, or a shared faith, if you will, is going to crumble in a crisis. And we see that today with Joash, with Jehoiada's death. We see that he did a lot of great things. But then we see over here when Jehoiada died, It says, but after Jehoiada's death, the leaders of Judah came and bowed down before the king Joash and persuaded him to listen to their advice. They decided to abandon the temple of God, temple of the Lord, the God of their ancestors. They worshipped Asherah poles and idols instead. And did you notice exclamation point? Yeah. So that's kind of like a shout. Because of their sin, divine anger fell on Judah and Jerusalem. And then, of course, we have yet the Lord. I love that. He sent prophets to warn them, but they didn't listen. That's a lesson for another day. But I want us to just today know that standing on our own faith is risky. It is risky. And I'm not saying abandon those wonderful people that have spoken into your life, that have helped just secure your faith. But when a crisis comes, standing on your faith is risky, but it's where real freedom is found. And we see here in Joash, King Joash, that borrowed faith or shared faith, however you might want to put that, is going to fail in a crisis. It's going to compromise when pressured, and it's going to execute the unthinkable. Because he ended up, did you see this? And if you haven't read yet, I'm sorry. This is kind of a spoiler. But Joash had the son of Jehoiada killed. Can you believe it? So it's, and we've got to have our own faith, because we are going to fail if we've borrowed our faith, or we're sharing it with someone else. We're going to compromise, and we're going to do things that we wouldn't ordinarily do, because we don't know what to do without that person standing around us or speaking into our lives. And we hadn't called each other in a while, and I don't know what to do with this situation. She can't be reached. I've DM'd her and she's not answering back, or I've snapped her and she's not snapping me back, or I sent her an email or a text message and I'm not hearing anything from her. I don't really know what to do in this situation. Oh, friend, we have to know what to do in this situation. We do. We have to have our own faith. And we have to have faith in our faith and confidence in our faith that God is going to be with us and help us make the right decision. And like I said, I'm not saying anything about not inviting people in to pray. And you know how I feel about that. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying, when our mentor or our teacher is no longer our mentor or teacher, can we stand? That's the question. And read through the Word, walking through the Word and studying the Word every day and praying every day and having this accountability is the way that you build your spiritual confidence so you can stand on your own legs in times of crisis. Golly, that sounded really country, really southern. But that's the only way, is that we, little by little, step out on faith and make our own decisions and our own obedience, and we build that faith. And that's where our freedom comes. When the crisis comes, we're like, I've got this, because I've got God, and I'm going to be fine. We won't sink, we won't fail. And here's the thing too, oh my goodness, I'm not saying fail doesn't come. Here's the thing too, if we fail, if we make the wrong decision, if we compromise in some way, because we think that's what we're supposed to do, I'd rather act on what I think I heard God tell me to do than not act at all. Because either way, God's going to work it all out. But He's going to know my heart. And He's going to know my reasons and my motives for why I did what I did or made my decision the way that I did, because I thought this is what you wanted me to do, Lord. And then I'm sorry, I made the wrong decision, or I compromised there. And the forgiveness comes. That's where all the freedom is. It's actually it's joyful. It's a freedom to make a mistake and be restored and know that you can be restored. It's our own faith, and we've got to have our own faith. We'll see next time on Read Through the Word.